What's up, mother? Morning, Moicano here, and today we're gonna talk about UFC Tuivasa versus Tybura. Stay tuned. After UFC 299, one of the best cards so far, great fights, amazing fight. Now we have Tybura versus Tuivasa. Am I happy? Maybe yes, maybe not. I'm not gonna talk too much shit because in the end of the day, they have belly to feed and sons to raise. So I guess UFC has to keeping the shows going on, okay? So I'm gonna give my opinion on the whole card. And let's start on... Caralho, como é que eu vou falar o nome desses caras, velho? Chad something versus Champola Grigoriou. Okay, and both of fighters are strikers. Neither of them going to try to take anybody down. They going to fight on the feet, and I think Grigoriou is the best striker. I'm not gonna take too long on the first fights because it really depends how the fight goes, but in my opinion, Grigoriou going to win via striking. Maybe decision, maybe knockout, but for sure that's going to be a kickboxing match in MMA, okay? Let's move on. Now we have Cory, McKenna versus Jaqueline, Amorim, and let me tell you something, Cory, she is good, she is complete. I don't think she's bad at all. She's good at cage, she's good at jiu-jitsu, decent striker, but Jaqueline Amorim, in the other hand, is very good grappler, and I think she got the edge on this fight. If the fights go to the ground, I think she will be able to control and even get a submission, but who knows? Nobody knows, but I'm going with Jaqueline Amorim. Next fight, Josh Culibao versus Dani Silva, and I'm going with the underdog plus 154. I think he is the better striker. I think he has more knockout power. He's very precise on his shots. Very good. Josh Culibao, on the other hand, takes too much damage all the time. Even on his last fight, he was getting beat bad by the other guy. The other guy fell and he took his back and got him in a rear naked choke. But he didn't got the takedown, you know, if you know what I mean. He didn't work for takedowns. And I watch a lot of his fights and he never shoot for takedowns. He's more like a brawler with a good jiu-jitsu game. So if the fight goes to the ground, he's dangerous, but he's never trying to take anybody down. And Dani Alves, in the other hand, I think Dani Alves tá fudido, né? Dani Alves, filho, ó. Lockdown, my brother. Dani Silva, in the other hand, very good striker, very precise. I think if he keeps the fight on the feet, picking the shots, going with the boxing, he's going to piece Josh Culibao up, my brother. And that's the fight. Go with the underdog. And always remember, this is not a financial advisor, especially in a card like that. UFC Fight Night, nobody cares. I'm just doing that for the content, my brother. So remember, click the like button, my brother. Share that shit, my brother. Thiago Moisés versus Mitch Ramirez. I think Thiago Moisés is going to dominate Mitch Ramirez. Mitch Ramirez is good at the ground, but he's not that good at the striking. He got pissed up. Of course, was on 70 by the Brazilian guys on Contender Series, but I was watching other couple fights of him, and he always shoot for the takedown, no preparation, no hands, he just shoots straight away for the takedowns, and I think Thiago Moisés is better than him on the ground, is better than him on jiu-jitsu, is better than him on wrestling, is better than him on the striking. So I think it's going to be an easy fight for Thiago Moisés. I could be wrong because a fight is a fight, but I think Thiago Moisés should be big favorite on this fight, okay? Because Ramirez is getting the fight on short notice, and I was watching Thiago Moisés training here at ATT. He came from Brazil, he was training at Fight Nerds, and he finished his camp on American Top Team. So I saw him on the sparring. The takedown were looking good, the striking was looking good. I think overall he's ready, you know, he was looking in shape, and I think he's going to dominate because I think Ramirez is going to shoot for takedowns right away, and then Thiago gonna get him in a front headlock, maybe go to the back, maybe get him on a dorsal on an anaconda choke. Who knows what's going to happen, but I think that's a good fight for Thiago Moisés. And remember, Thiago Moisés was supposed to fight Brad Riddell, but Brad Riddell pulled out. And I think that's a fight that is good for Thiago too. Brad Riddell is a good fight for Thiago Moisés. And let's see, I expected a finish or a knockout or a TKO by Thiago Moisés on that fight. Osbourne versus Jafel Filho, my brother. Osbourne has problems with grappler. He lost his last fight against Azul by submission, and he lost 2 more by submission. And if the guy has good grappling and jiu-jitsu, usually he doesn't do that well. He is very good at striking, but like I say, his takedown defense are not that good. But my problem in this fight is because Jafel Filho's striker is not that great. Sometimes look at his strikes. Defensive, he's very bad, especially defensive. He doesn't have the proper technique to defend, to pair, to block. So he is always a brawler. We can see on that fight, like, he getting knocked down many times, but in the end he could pull out the submission. So maybe he could finish Osbourne if the fight goes to the ground. But since he's not a wrestler, he's more a jiu-jitsu guy, he doesn't shoot too much for takedowns, and that's bad for his style because he should take advantage of his jiu-jitsu and his grappling. But as he doesn't shoot that much for takedowns, he's forced sometimes to strike, and his striking is not that good. So because of that, I'm going with Osbourne. But again, it's a tough fight. If the fight goes to the ground, and that fight could go to the ground, because Osbourne is not very good defensively in wrestling, but Jafel Filho in the same time is not that good offensively in wrestling. One is good in jiu-jitsu, other is good in striking. Let's see what's going to happen. It's going to be a classic grappling versus striking matchup, and I give the edge to Osbourne, but it's a tough fight to predict, okay? Next one, Josiane Nunes versus Chelsea Handler. I'm going to be brief with you. I don't know what's going on in the fight. Josiane, she doesn't kick, she doesn't shoot for takedowns, don't have good jiu-jitsu. She only have the left hand, like she is a southpaw and strong with the left hand is the only thing that she got. In the other hand, Chelsea Chandler, she's not good either. She doesn't shoot very well for takedowns, but sometimes she shoots for takedowns. Her jiu-jitsu is not that great, her striking is not that great, and they both are very heavy because they used to compete in 145 and now they are competing in 135. And I don't know, Chelsea Chandler should win this because she's bigger and she shoots for takedowns, but I don't know why I'm going with Josiane Nunes because she's powerful with the left hand, but technically she's not very good. So again, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going with Josiane Nunes. Next one, Mike Davis versus Nathan Levy. I think Mike Davis should be the biggest favorite on the card because he is very good striker, decent grappler, decent wrestler. He's very well-rounded, powerful, knockout power. And the other hand, Nathan Levy, I don't think he's a very good striker. I think he's a good jiu-jitsu guy. I don't think he's too powerful for that division. Like in the meaning that I don't know if he's going to get the takedowns, and even if he does, he's not gonna submit Mike Davis because he's very good at grappling. The last Mike Davis loss was a rear naked choke, but was Gilbert Durinho, a specialist, right, in 155, long time ago. So I am expecting Mike Davis going over there and destroy Nathan Levy. That's my opinion. That's what I think that's going to happen because Mike Davis beat Borchev, a good 145 Russian guy. Everybody loves the guy. He beat Mason Jones. Mason Jones is decent. He lost to Gilbert Burns and to Sodiq Yusuff on a decision in Dana White contender series. And I think Mike Davis should be the huge favorite. Again, this is not financial advisor, but in my opinion, Homie is in trouble, my brother. Of course, Mike Davis is coming off an injury on his shoulder, so that could play a part in the whole fight. But in my opinion, it's going to be an easy fight for Mike Davis, not disrespecting Nathan Levy. This is what I think, okay? Let's move on to the next. Gerald Meerschaert versus Bryan Barberena. Brother, I'm not watching neither of those guys to say who is winning. I will be honest with you. I don't care about the fight. I don't think it's going... I like more Bryan Barberena, but I don't like Gerald Meerschaert stylistically. I don't think he's very exciting. His record is 35-17 and Barberena 18-11. So you can see they are not top MMA fighters, in my opinion. But I think Bryan Barberena will beat him. But I'm not sure. This is just my opinion. Going to the next one, Pannie Kianzad versus Macy Chiasson. I think Pannie Kianzad going to win, but you could ask me why. I don't know. I didn't watch any of these girls fighting, and I'm not gonna watch. I'm just going to pick Pannie because I have to pick somebody, okay? And we go to the next fight, Christian Rodrigues versus Isaac Dulgarian. I think that's going to be one of the best fights of the whole card. Why? Because Christian Rodrigues is very good. He beat Raul Rosa Jr. He beat Kamaru Simon. So, he's good, but the problem is he used to be 135, but he didn't make the weight twice. So that's why they are moving him up. Christian Rodrigues, solid striker, good scrambles, good wrestling, good jiu-jitsu. I think he's complete. I think he's young. His record is good, 10-1. This kid is the future, but I think 145 is too heavy for him. I was watching Isaac Dulgarian, 6-0, one fight in UFC. The kid that he beat in UFC, a very solid wrestler. That tell me that Isaac is very good. And I think stylistically, that's going to be a bad game for Christian Rodrigues. I think Isaac is going to win. Even though I see more future on Christian Rodrigues, I wish he come back to 135 because I think he can make history in 135. I really like his style, but on this matchup, I think Isaac is going to be too much for him because I think he's going to wrestle and then control on the top position. He's not gonna give too much space, so Christian Rodrigues will not do the scrambles, and even if he get back to the feet, I think Isaac will shoot and take him down again and control. So I think that could be a good fight because if Christian Rodrigues defend the takedowns and stay on the feet or even get the takedown of his own, it's going to be huge. It's going to be a good fight because Isaac Dulgarian is a good wrestler, he's a solid grappler, and I think that fight is going to be good, but I'm going with Isaac Dulgarian. Now we have Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Olivier St. Preux. And I'm not gonna take too long on that one. I think Olivier St. Preux is too old. I think he has been tested so many times, so many battles, and I think Kennedy will win, and probably by knockout. 205, heavy hitter. Kennedy has the edge against Ovince St. Preux for sure, and I think he's going to knock Ovince St. Preux out. That's my opinion. And then we have Bryan Battle versus Ange Loosa. Bryan Battle, the Ultimate Fighter winning. He has been showing a lot of improvements. Ange Loosa, tough competition, solid grappler, very good, but I still think Bryan Battle is too tall. He's going to keep the distance. He's going to defend the takedowns. And I'm going with Bryan Battle on this one. And then we have the main event, Tuivasa versus Marcin Tybura. And I can only hope Tuivasa beat Tybura, my brother. I can only hope. I don't know who is winning. That's going to be a tough fight to watch. It's going to be a tough fight to predict. But I just hope Tuivasa knock Marcin Tybura out. Otherwise, it's going to be 5 rounds of grabbing on the cage, wrestling on the cage. It's going to be an ugly fight. If Tuivasa doesn't knock him out in the first round, it's going to be tough to watch. So I hope Tuivasa knock the out Marcin Tybura. And that was UFC Fight Night, Tuivasa versus Marcin Tybura. If you watch that far, make sure you click the like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I have something to say, my brother. Before UFC 300, we're going to have a lot of mid-card fight night, so stay tuned, Watch the video just to help the channel. That's not going to be a big buzz on YouTube because you know how it goes, but UFC 300 is just around the corner, my brother. See you soon.